Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I'm your host, Jacques Slade. Today on the show, we've got the return of my neck. First looks at Travis Scott and Drake's latest, the best part about Across the Spiderverse, the week's hottest releases, and of course, our Hard Pass. All right, let's start this with some hot takes. So Travis Scott is going golfing and he's taking the hype beast with him. At least that's what it looks like. His recent interest in the game has had people speculating that a golf shoe couldn't be that far behind. Well, they would be correct because a new colorway of his Air Jordan 1 Low collab with the now familiar reverse swoosh has leaked, but in a twist, it's got Jordan Golf branding. Wait, didn't all of those outlets say that Travis was done with the Jordan 1s? Guess they just mean ones as lifestyle shoes. These Travis 1 Golfs are going to get dirty and beat down after a round or two. Hopefully they come with that Nike Golf 1-year waterproof warranty, just so I can imagine the dorks who are going to try to game the system and get replacement pairs. But that's not all in Travis and Nike news. More pictures of the artist wearing what is reported to be his first real signature shoe are hitting the internets, and of course, people have takes. Most notably, that the midfoot strap is Yeezy inspired because, of course it is. According to the internet, there has not been a good sneaker idea in the past 10 years that was not inspired by apparently Travis, Pharrell, the late Virgil Abloh, Jerry Lorenzo, Joe Freshgoods, Salehi Bembury, and every other black creative out there cannot create a sneaker, a boot, a sandal, a clog, or anything without paying homage to. And to close out the Travis news, some leakers said that a restock or reissue or retro was going to happen of whatever the hell you want to call the Cactus Jack SB Dunks. Then another leaker said it wasn't going to happen. I'm going to say that according to my sources, Ken WA and DJ Squiggle, it's going to drop on June 17th on Sneakers app just to see if anybody credits me and keeps the cycle going. Thanks to the shoe gang, we finally have a decent look at the Nike Nocta Glide, the Nike Zoom Flight 95 inspired sneaker that Drake's been wearing for a while now. I don't want to say too much since I want to wait until the official images drop. But man, if they can just get rid of the Nike on the eyelets, I'd appreciate it. Save me the trouble of having to take them out like I did the Jordan on the Air Jordan 11 Jubilee. And oh, what do you know? Somebody is already trolling and saying that these are inspired by Yeezy 700s and 500s. Anyway, so LaMelo Ball is taking us back to 2021 with the first release of his third signature shoe, the PUMA MB-03 Gutter Mellow. Why 2021? Because they're going to be selling NFT tickets that you can redeem for the physical pair later this year. Hey, remember non-fungible tokens? They were big in 2021, man. If PUMA had a time machine and dropped this back then, I wouldn't be surprised if they sold more NFTs than there were sneakers actually made. Why? Because all of the crypto bros would have bought the NFTs, not redeemed them, and hyped them up as collectibles that you should buy from them for thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, the sneaker would also shoot up in price on the resale market since not a lot of people redeem their tickets. It's, bless your heart, LaMelo. You're still trying, Puma's still trying, Nike's still trying. Can't wait until you all discover ChatGPT by 2025. According to a Soul Retriever, the Nike Roshi run will be making a comeback later this year with 9 colorways. Not sure if it's a comeback when you can buy Roshis right now on Nike.com, but it seems like a more formal rollout where Nike puts some marketing dollars behind it, if I were to guess. Like, I could see the Roshis being a hit again. They are affordable, comfortable, and utilitarian. Give them a panda colorway, have Travis wear one with the reverse swoosh, bring back the Yeezy version, and watch them become the next Dunks. It's in play, I believe, but what do y'all think? Let me know. Kia Nurse has a Jordan Tatum 1 PE inspired by her idol Vince Carter. That's pretty cool, and the 90s Raptor aesthetic translates well to the Tatum 1, but you know what would have been better? A Nike VC2 Retro. I get it, she's a Jordan athlete, but wouldn't a better story have been Kia wearing the shoes that Carter actually wore? It's like Sabrina Ionescu honoring her mentor, the late Kobe Bryant, in some Zions or Lukas. Nice sentiment, just weird shoe choice. By the way, a hypothetical Sabrina 1 with Kobe co-branding. Hottest shoe of 2023, bar none. Not saying it's gonna happen, but the story is right there. The Nike Air ships are now Jordan Brand's property, starting with the Tech Gray colorway. Moving forward, they will be called the Air Jordan Air Ship. Smart move. Now, if we can fix some other pseudo-signature shoes like the Penny Air Flight 1, the Kobe Huarache 2K4, the LeBron Zoom Generation and the KD Hyperize. We'll be set if you guys do that. Oh, y'all don't know about the Hyperize? You must have forgotten about Velvet Hoop, aka the last time the internet didn't have a weird fascination with... Anyway, it's the Heat Check, where we bring you everything that's dropping this week. We have the women's Nike Dunk Low Blue Suede on the 13th for $120. The Nike Dunk Low Heineken, maybe allegedly for $110. The Nike Terminator Low University Gold and Navy for $120. The Nike Air Max 1 Golf Green Strike for $170. The Nike Dunk Low Volt on the 14th for $110. The women's Nike Vomero 5 Royal Tint Photon Dust on the 14th for $160. The Clot Fragment Design Nike Dunk Low Black and White for $150. The Puma RS-X The Flash for $120. The Air Jordan 6 Golf Low US Open for $220. The Nike ISPA Universal Smoke Gray on the 15th for $80. The Adidas Stan Smith Luxe Cloud White for $145. Stussy Nike Vandal High Deep Royal Blue for $130. The women's Nike Dunk Low Unlock Your Space for $120. Puma RS-X Tech Panthro, that's going to be $120. The Puma RS-S Tech Thundercats, that's going to be $120. Reebok Question Low Electric Cobalt, that's $150. Nike Air Max 186 Lost Sketch on the 16th for $170. The Nike Dunk Low Sequoia and Alabaster, that's $110. Nike Dunk Low Light Silver Ocean Bliss, that's $110. New Balance 990 V6 made in the USA Magenta Pop, that's going to be $220. The Puma MB02 Low LaMelos, that's going to be $125. The Air Jordan 2 Low Cherry Wood, that's going to be on the 17th, and that's going to cost you $150. Before we move on to this week's Hard Pass, I just want to show some love to Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. Look, no spoilers here, so don't worry. Maybe it's just recency bias, but this might be the best middle movie ever made since Empire Strikes Back. Like the Mount Rushmore of middle movies is Empire, Dark Knight, Godfather 2, and Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. Apologies to classics like Back to the Future 2, Spider-Man 2, Rush Hour 2, Terminator 2, Next Friday, and a whole bunch of others that I'm sure are going to be mentioned in the comments. To be honest, I haven't seen 2 Towers since it first came out. I just remember it being very, very good. But man, if one has to go so our #1 Spider-Man Miles Morales, you heard me, can slide into those top spots, it's gonna be Gandalf and Friends. The animation, the story, the evolution of Miles from the first movie, the fleshing out of Gwen's story, the reintroduction of Spider-Man 2099. There's so much to talk about, but it's better that people experience this for themselves with as little info as possible on the biggest possible screen. Watch it on IMAX, people. I promise it'll be worth it. But also, shout out to all the small nods to sneaker culture, man. And I don't mean the Jordans, plural. To see friend of the program, Tyree Dillahay, animation director over at Sony and creator of the iconic webcomic Sleds, get a moment in this movie. If you know, you know, it felt like a victory of sorts for the sneaker blog era of the early 2010s. Couldn't even wait until the movie finished to text him that I saw that. Of course, I was probably like text number 3,700, whatever, but it still felt great, man. All right. It's time for this week's Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go, like LIV Golf. After over a year of pro wrestling-like bickering on multiple fronts, PGA, the DP World Tour, perhaps most curiously named sports league in the world after the XFL, and the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, the group that funded LIV Golf, are combining their businesses to create one global golf entity. For a year, we were meant to believe that the soul of the game was on the line and that it had a wide-ranging implication that touched everything, including tragedies like September 11th to our current culture hellhole discourse on social media. And then, like an RKO out of nowhere, a secret deal was brokered that even Tiger Woods didn't know about. All sides are good, and the executives who talk that talk will get yelled at for the rest of their lives for being hypocrites and sellouts. But it won't matter because, well, that's what the money is for. If that isn't the most WWE outcome, man, it's as if Vince McMahon, who also works with the Saudis, scripted the whole thing. By the way, if Tiger didn't really know these negotiations were happening, then that's the clearest sign that he has really lost the juice. Like, he'll always have some juice because he's Tiger Woods, but I guess the golf world no longer revolves around him. No way anything this big happens without Tiger's knowledge or approval as recently as like 5 years ago. Anyways, as of this recording, the actual merger hasn't finalized beyond the basic framework, The new Super League won't take effect until 2024, so the PGA, DP, and LIV seasons will continue as scheduled in the meantime. All of the pending litigation that was filed on both sides are dropped, and everyone can get back to being friends. Maybe. I doubt the PGA and DP tours are itching to welcome the LIV defectors back with open arms, but more on that later. There's still the matter of getting through the various regulatory boards that might raise a concern or two about allowing a major league like the PGA and DP tours to get into the metaphorical bed with the Saudis. Potentially, that roadblock could even come from the US. As we head into an election year, some politicians might use this as an opportunity to score some points with voters, particularly those families who lost loved ones on 9/11 by appearing tough against Saudis. Don't forget Greg Norman, noted Masters choke artist and LIV CEO by name only, went to Washington last year and got laughed out of the building by both Democrats and Republicans. Whether the concern is real or a smokescreen is up for debate, but I could see this being a bumpy road for a while. And man, that's a lot of high-level, high-stakes talk about golf. Like, if this stuff is even above Tiger Woods' pay grade, you know the stakes are serious. But really, is this going to matter to you, the golf curious who maybe started taking up the game because of Travis Scott or DJ Khaled, or even seeing me picking up clubs? Or maybe you got a pair of Jordan golf shoes thinking you got a regular pair of cool gray 11s and decided to try them out anyway on the driving range. How about the golf fan who appreciates that there's a new generation coming in and bringing a little bit of culture to the game? Is any of this actually going to affect you? And the answer is hell no. None of that progressive changes LIV made is going to make their way to the PGA. Okay, that's a slight lie because the PGA did increase prize money and created designated events with small fields and no cuts. I would argue that's still within the framework of traditional 72-hole golf, and there have been no-cut events and exhibitions for years now. The only thing that changed are the bigger purses. The shotgun starts, the 54 holes, and the team golf stuff really miss us with all that nonsense. Nobody cares about team golf outside of the Ryder Cup. Sorry, but not sorry to the President's Cup. After a few events, LIV stopped reporting their TV ratings on the CW and streamers because it was so pathetic and indicative that the stuff they threw at the wall never stuck. So no, their innovations are never going to make it to the transition. Remember when Bubba Watson said with a straight face that the Four Aces, an actual team name on the LIV Tour, was comparable to the Yankees or the Cowboys? Like, dude, Bubba, no, like what are you doing? If there's one thing I'm going to miss from this drama, it's the delusional grow the game crap that I heard from everyone on LIV not named Harold Varner III. It was never about that. It was about the bag. LIV was a Trojan horse to get the PIF inside the PGA. Mission accomplished. Peace out, LIV. Look, assuming this deal goes through, LIV will cease to be relevant. Rory McIlroy doesn't even think LIV will exist after this year. I don't know about that. Like, it might still exist to prove the haters wrong, or if the PGA and DP are adamant about punishing the defectors and leaving them there until further notice. But LIV as a thing people talk about, I think that's done. You can't be a rebel league when you're a part of the machine. The reality is that the only reason people cared so much about this whole saga was because of the money, the Saudi factor, and Rory telling Phil Mickelson to F off. The golf exhibition that LIV pretended was real competition was tertiary, not even important enough to be secondary. It was the drama off the course that fueled the discourse. Without that tension, not sure anyone would have noticed Phil was even gone. As long as he showed up to the majors along with Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson, aka the 4 times a year the casuals pay attention, 5 if it's a Ryder Cup year, that's all that really matters. The party atmosphere, the F1 style celebrations, the live concerts. It's cool to see that a few times a year, like at the Phoenix Open. When it happens every week, it becomes less interesting. And honestly, nothing kills a mood faster than watching Patrick Reed or Sergio Garcia holding up a LIV trophy that looks like a supersized PS4 and spraying champagne and dancing to a D-less musical act like PGA Youngboy. You know, PGA Youngboy. So yeah, thanks for the memories, LIV. The PIF got what they wanted all along, and that was a place at the table with the PGA. It might hang around as long as the PGA and DP players hold a grudge, but as soon as they pay their penance, it'll fade into the ether like any hopes Greg Norman had at winning the Masters in 1996 by the 9th hole on Sunday. All right, That's going to do it for the show. Thank you guys for watching Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week, but not before I leave you with a viewer Hard Pass.
Hey, Jack, what's up? Hard Pass over here, coming from New York City. What happened to high-top sneakers? This used to be the jump-off. And what happened to the term jump-off? Do people still say that? Not just playing. But, yeah, high-top sneakers. These used to be the thing back in the day. I'm a 90s kid, and, you know, kicks like the Air Command Forces and the Air Pressures, even the Reebok Omnizone 2s, these joints were hot. What happened? Can anyone explain this to me? Why is this not cool anymore? Why is this now mid? I don't even know if I'm using that right. All right, thanks.
If you'd like to possibly be featured in a future episode, call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message. Your socials if you want, no more than 30 seconds. All right, I'll see you next week. Peace.